I get this question all the time. Should I go to college or should I start a business? And I think the answer is you shouldn't do either. I became a millionaire at age 23 because I skipped college and started my career at 18 years old. I then used what I learned from my career to start my company Course Careers, which now generates millions in revenue. The blueprint I used to get here is actually very simple, and I believe anyone could follow my same path. Back in high school, everyone was telling me that I had to go to college to be successful. Teachers, parents, guidance counselors, even my friends, they all said the same thing. If you don't go to college, you're going to be a failure, and the only job you'll ever be able to get is fast food. But at the same time, I kept seeing story after story of people who did go to college, they did do everything they were supposed to do, and after graduating, they can't even land a good job, and now they're buried in student loan debt. The kind of debt that traps you. It forces you to take whatever job you can get just to make your student loan payment. You can't take vacations, you can't start a business, you can't take risks. That's not the future I wanted. So I made a decision. I'm skipping college. But then reality hit. I had no idea what to do next. I wanted to be successful, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I had no plan, I had no money, I had no skills. I was following influencers like Gary Vee and Patrick Bet-David, and they all said college is a waste of time. But their only solutions were start a business or join the military. I didn't want to join the military, and I didn't have the money, skills, or connections to start a business. Meanwhile, my parents weren't going to support me anymore, so I had to figure out how to make money fast. I was going to entrepreneurship meetups hoping to find answers, and at one event, the speaker was the founder of a billion-dollar tech company called Rubicon. I asked him, what should I do as an 18-year-old who's starting from scratch and wants to be a successful entrepreneur? His answer changed my life. He said, to start a business, you need to bring something to the table. You either need to know how to sell or you need to know how to build a product or service. Those are the only two skills that matter for starting a business. So I wanted to confirm this. I started researching the backgrounds of successful entrepreneurs, and I found almost all of them either started in sales or engineering. Tech founders like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, they were engineers, they built the product. Business moguls like Mark Cuban, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, they were salespeople, they sold the product. And even in non-tech business, the pattern was the same. People who owned plumbing companies, they worked as plumbers. People who owned accounting firms, they started as accountants. And this confirmed to me, the best path to become an entrepreneur is to first get the skills by getting a job. And I decided I wanted to start a tech company, but I don't want to be an engineer, so I'll focus on sales. Now I had a clear direction. At 18, my only goal in life was to land a sales job at a tech company. But I ran into the same problem a lot of people face. Every job posting said I needed a degree or experience. But how do I get experience if no one will hire me? Then I noticed something. I looked at hundreds of job postings and realized most of the skills they wanted weren't taught in college. They wanted things like how to send cold emails, how to make cold calls, how to use sales software. Recent college graduates didn't learn any of these skills. They only had one thing, a degree. So I made a bet. If I learned everything employers actually wanted, I could get hired without a degree because I'd be more qualified than a college graduate. So I compiled a list of the most common qualifications for tech sales jobs, and then I read every book I could find, watched every YouTube video, took online courses. I practiced sales techniques. For a month, I did nothing but learn. Then I applied for jobs and it worked. I landed my first job within weeks. At 18 years old, I became a tech sales rep, making over $50,000 per year, and I moved out of my parents' house, had zero debt, and was completely financially independent. By 19, I got promoted, started earning 5-figure commission checks, and had over $35,000 saved in my bank account. And at this point, I was way financially ahead compared to all my friends who went to college. The biggest hack I learned is that when you work for a successful company, you get paid to learn how to run a business. Working in tech sales taught me how to run a company, how to hire employees, how to build a software product, how to sell to customers. Now, I had the skills, money, and the network. I could finally start my own company. At 19 years old, I launched Course Careers to help others skip college and start high-paying careers just like I did. Course Careers went from $0 to $9 million in revenue in 1 year. At 23, I had $2 million in extra cash just sitting in the bank, and my net worth skyrocketed from zero to between $50 to $100 million in a single year, depending on how the company was valued. And I'm not a genius. I just followed a better strategy than college. The best part is this blueprint I followed is repeatable. And I believe many more young people will become millionaires in their 20s by copying what I did. If you want to learn about how to follow this blueprint, I'll include a link to Course Careers down below, which has free courses that teach you how to land different high-paying careers such as tech sales and many others. I'll see you in the next one.